Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. We're glad you joined us. Welcome to yet another edition of The Shattering. I am Chris Lotus, joined along with the dog answer
Syrin
before
the dog?
Yeah, him too, I guess.
And the PancakeSauce. And also Loki, I guess.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's just in the background.
That got me more so because before we went live, Syrin specifically told us he was closing the door to keep out background noise. And then all
My dog's like, is that a challenge?
Objection!
Objection!
I don't know if I mentioned it before, I'm a huge fan of that series and I'm so happy about they're finally porting the Great Ace Attorney series, which is supposed to be about Phoenix Wright's, I guess. They call him Ancestor, so I'm not going to guess how many greats in front of it, but nevertheless. So I can't wait for that. How are y'all doing?
Doing great.
Doing fine.
Got
Got a couple new games.
Got some food stories? I was about to say, got some food stories for us?
No, the breakfast burrito, but that's kind of it.
Never really understood like the appeal, but I mean, hey, it's whatever. I ain't gonna judge anybody for what they eat for breakfast. I know if somebody has candy for breakfast all the time, I know that's a little strange or whatever, but then again, who knows?
In terms of cool fighting game stuff, or just stuff in general, there's a huge sale going on Steam, which is kind of cool.
Yep, I saw, because I got the emails from Steam. They mentioned these two because they're on my wish list and I haven't gotten them on PC yet, but I know Garu is on a discount and I know KOF 2002 UM. Was it UM?
I think they might both.
Was it UM?
Yeah, 2002 UM.
Okay, because I know I know it was on PC before it came like the console. Well, PS5 and PS4, I think. Is it PS4 and PS5 or PS4?
I think it's PS4 and PS5.
Okay.
Soul Calibur is only $8 right now, or Soul Calibur 6 is. So I recommend if any of you don't have it and you're considering getting it on PC, I should just go grabbing it right now because it's only $8 as opposed to like 50 to 60 bucks. So
there is something weird going on PSN when it comes to Soul Calibur, because a friend of mine who was just looking to get back into fighting games, I guess, or maybe just saw the sale, one of the two. Soul Calibur 6 was $60 still on the PSN store. However, the collector's edition with like apparently all the stuff was like $18, down from like $89, like $80 something dollars. It's like, okay.
there's like a big SNK like pack thing that's like only a couple bucks right now. Let's see, which is it? The 40-year anniversary collection is only $14, although it was only like 30 to begin with for a ton of games. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Freaking SNK commercial is gonna pop up in the middle of this.
Have you seen any of the old like Fatal Fury commercials?
Yeah, because I've used like some of the stuff from those old commercials for like certain videos. Very nostalgic to like go back and look at those.
Yeah, it's pretty wild looking.
What's up, Jose, in the chat? So, let's get right into it. We always talk about the recent trailer that drops for 15, and this is about to be one very silly sentence, but I'm gonna try to do this. But I guessed, not me, Chris, on the strength that they might as well put him out because we know where he's going. And lo and behold, apparently SNK agreed. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I said it was going to be a weird sentence because I thought I was going to say a whole lot of not me, Chris, 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 Chris, not me, Chris, not me. For a character that y'all in the chat like that have been on my channel for a
I
while.
thought that was gonna happen in your video, and I was like,
Oh, looky here. Apparently this is somebody who's friends with y'all. Raspy Lightning.
Oh, he's
Wait a
here.
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute,
Oh.
wait a minute, wait a minute. Isn't he featured on your channel?
he is.
Okay, I figured. 'Cause I know like there's characters over there, like everybody has like characters there. So nice to have you here, Raspy Lightning. Cause they put in the chat. So Chris, I'm a friend of Syrin and Pancake. You mind explaining what is the Shattering? This
That's a really good
is
question.
a yeah, very good question. This is a podcast that Syrin and I originally started, then Pancake jumped on board and added a nice coat of color commentary and comedy along with our usual ramblings about KOF and other fighting games in general, but that's basically what it is. It's a fighting game podcast there. We're going to talk mostly about KOF 15, as you see in the background. We got it on. I almost called it the Syrentron. I'm talking about the monitor. Yeah, because like in wrestling, like, you know, usually when they play videos, when somebody's making an entrance or whatever, it's called a Titantron. So I was just thinking,
Yeah.
we call it the Syrentron, but that's why you see like, but that's basically what this is. We and Syrin reached out to me, wanted to do a collaboration, so I was like, why not? Why not?
Yep.
And I've gotten in a better mood because I forgot he put the freaking Last Blade music in here.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I think what happened is it started. I know what happened is it started as me and Chris here just chatting, and then I'm like, we agreed to meet up the next weekend. And like, should we do this as a podcast? We had a bunch of stuff to say. It's like, yeah. Then it turned into the Shattering, and I made this whole cool like background thing here.
Yep, like all like the I'm talking about it almost like he bought the equipment, but like the desk and the background, the why not? He didn't seem to have a problem with it. The Syrentron and the windows in the back and everything, that's all Syrin there. I always wondered about this now I think about it. Did you like draw your avatar by chance, Syrin?
I drew that one over there.
He totally paid for it. That's you're looking at a extremely expensive art project right there.
Hey man, it could have just been for like, you know, you find the right folks, you can get a little something for $5. That sounds awful. Never mind. That sounds awful. That sounded awful.
Actually, the original thing with that picture is my friend, who was just in the chat, Raspy, has a whole bunch of like, I can say pictures of his like. He has a whole bunch of pictures of his persona thing. Obviously,
Okay.
He's a big fan of it.
Okay.
But he has a whole bunch of assets, and he has one that's like really cool looking, which is, or well, not really cool. But how do I say this? One that looks really.
Raspy's about to type which one?
The HD one, full body one. If you wanted, you could print it and make a Raspy body pillow if you want.
Yo!
I don't suggest you do that.
Wow.
Why
But-
not?
Wow.
Why not?
Wow.
Because
Ideas.
I don't know.
Wow.
But he also
Wow,
has a
so-
very simplified one, which it's like his like GIF. I'd like to describe it as weird cartoon, weird arthritis knee man thing.
Me, man?
I call it that because they're like bouncing up and down with their legs, kind of. That's what he's doing, like the old like cartoons.
Raspy in the chat. Raspy in the chat said very flattering.
Uh,
I wonder if that
the
was in response to the whole.
podcast.
I wonder, like, no, I think you said. I don't know. What were you saying? Very flattering in response to Raspy, because part of me is thinking that it was. Part of me think he was reacting to you talking about the freaking body pillow thing.
I really hope that it was. That would be yeah.
Hey Fabio.
I think I have a GIF of what I'm talking about. Oh, here's one. That's the newest one, right?
Oh snap.
I think I have a couple of gifts because I think I have his. No, I have his assets. Hold on.
That's the one that he's talking
not
about though.
That's one.
We
That's not the one I'm specifically.
We
talking
getting
about.
origin stories today.
He has like this little chibi one.
Don't worry so much about it, Raspy. Don't worry so much about it, Raspy. Like, we BS, like, we BS too on the side of talking about KOF and fighting games, so don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
Okay, so you've got like the HD kind of one.
Yeah, that's
you
the
got
body
the chibi one.
Oh,
the chibi one is kind of what I did. I'm like, okay, so I have this
God.
HD one that my friend had drew me, which is just my head.
Okay. Alright.
And then I have the other one over here, which is just the one I drew in, like, not MS Paint. It's this thing called Paint 2D. It's like MS Paint, but with slightly more mediocre, better tools.
Okay. Okay, I've seen that character before, like I said.
But yeah.
I've seen, okay. So that's you. I knew that, like, because, like, in the chat, like, it's a pencil, it looks like a pencil drawing, almost like it's black and white. So I'm used to seeing, like, the creature, like, with the hood and, like, the, the purple, like, so when I saw it, I'm like,
It was the guy I was making in Soul Calibur earlier. I just couldn't find a hood.
Oh.
So.
Okay. But,
yeah, it's this, like, weird priest tiara thingy.
We getting origin stories today. Wowie,
But yeah.
Yowie, wow.
That's the origin of my weird little chibi, simple drawing.
Yeah. Before we go on, then the author, well, not the author, really, the artiste of my avatar. When I first met her, then, like, she went by the tagline "Spoonful of Characters," but you can check her out, I think, on DeviantArt by the same name. Helena G. Fiorenza. She's gonna hate me for that, but Helena G. Fiorenza made my avatar, so thank you very much to that. Love my artists, so I want to give them at least, the props they deserve. Shouts to all of you all that made Sirens, Pancakes, mine, everything. I don't care what anybody says. Art ain't dead.
Found a cute little guy, and then I drew syrup on the side of his face. I appreciate it, though.
Okay.
You said it was some kind of reference to My Hero or something.
Still gotta watch that.
No.
Someone's gonna get mad at me for
I
that.
did. Actually, I did. Yeah, I did say that.
So, like I said, it was not me, Chris, this week. It was Chris, not me, whichever one you want to call him. And like I said, SNK agreed with me because we already knew where he was going. So now it's like, now we're back to square one. Where is everybody else gonna go? Because everybody was all mixed up and confused once we got but no women fighters team confirmation. Everyone is like scratching their heads and wondering, oh my goodness, like what's going on here? What's going on here? Like, we hear talk about Alice, we hear talk about various other characters we haven't seen in a minute, whether it's Mei Lee, whether it's maybe Mary gonna go back with the women fighters team. So that's where we are. That's where we are right now. That is where we are at this point. But what did you all think of Chris, not me? What'd y'all think of him?
I like playing as Chris quite a bit. He's speedy, right?
Right.
And he has like we didn't see the flip kick in the trailer apart from like the actual super where he does the flip kick 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, he's speedy, and we didn't get to see the teams fight, but I think it was a cool trailer.
Yeah, that disappointed me just a tad little bit. It's like, why did they have a demo when it came to Team Fatal Fury, but not when it came to... Because on the other hand, maybe, hey, once again, this is SNK trying to mix it up on us again, like trying to switch everything up. I mean, that's the best way to keep people engaged, is to, like, keep them guessing, but come on, like, what's going on here? What's going on? And somebody, I forgot who, had speculated the reason we didn't get a demo was because they didn't reveal the Orochi forms. They think the Orochi forms are going to come and then we're going to get a demo. So I don't know. That was just kind of strange to me. And then again, I heard somebody else mention, which I think might be a much more solid explanation, is that they're trying their best to make every single time they make a release something, make it feel fresh. And the one thing that we hadn't seen since the beginning of the time that we got these trailers, we did not get like any sense of how the game is played, the matches. You know, are they going to be fast paced then? Is it going to feel more light and airy, like, for instance? Not light and airy, but you know, is it going to have like the flashiness of 13, or is it going to go back to being a lot more old school? But I really am a little surprised that they did not have a demo for them this time. That was a bit surprising to me, a little disappointing, but I mean, hey, all in due time, right? All in due time. By the way,
Yeah.
I forgot to, just to make up for the fact I didn't say it one time in my reaction trailer then, Pro Chris! Shoutouts to Ignite Rizzy, that's a thing, because his jumping CD attack is ridiculous. Great range, he can keep harassing you with it.
I was trying it out.
Pro Chris!
I was trying it out in 2002 UM. I couldn't land it for some reason. It's probably just something to stop people from jumping.
Pro Chris! Got me sound like I'm a fan of his, even though I'm not really a fan of it. Pro Chris! That's how they say it. That's how he says it, Pro Chris. But like I said, my favorite part of that trailer will always still be, and I like this character, I like him, but oh my god, it was funny, but kind of humiliating at the same time though. And that's when like he's dodging all of those attacks from Mason Kun. That was the best part of the trailer, in my opinion. It's like, oh
Yeah,
wow.
resumes.
I think SNK got a hold to Suichi. Shoutouts to, I don't think Suichi's in the chat yet. He would tell me if they were there, but they heard how much I was making fun of Shunei, so it's like, hey, let's not make him look any worse than we already did with the first trailer. Let's have Chris pick on somebody else. Not me, Chris, but that one right there. So let's have him sit over here and just dodge all of Mason Kun's attacks. It's like, and I feel for the soul that like is trying like playing against him, and then they try to hit him, and it's like over and over and over and over again. They keep dodging the attacks, and they're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm looking like Mason Kun in that trailer. Oh my gosh. Because it's already bad enough. You're like, it's almost tantamount to freaking when people taunt you in Dead by Daylight and you're the killer, and it's like you can't catch anybody. You're like this, oh, I'm big, I'm a monster. Oh, I gotta, whether it's the chainsaw or an axe, and it's like, you can't catch me though, and I'm human. It's just crazy. Like that just had me rolling. Like I just couldn't believe it. Like, it's just Chris sitting over there just dodging all of Mason Kun's attacks. And I think it was 3 different attacks. I think. Like, prepare to get trolled, because, like, Chris Not Me is a brat, and people are gonna play him like a brat, too.
In terms of gameplay, it does definitely remind me of 13 quite a bit.
What would have Orochi... I don't call him Orochi Chris because that's an actual character. What would have Not Me Chris actually freaking... What would he have been like in 13? Now that I think about it. What would he have been like? Because in my video, I made the point that him and Mason Kun have actually never met. Which made it even better, I think. But it's like, he wasn't in 13 either. It's like, how would he be in 13?
I don't know.
I wouldn't be ready for that right there. I'm wondering how all the
I wonder how there's characters who I wonder who would play in 13.
You
like
beat me
Geese?
to it.
How would Geese play in 13?
I was just about to say that. I'm like, I'm wondering how a couple of different characters would play in 13. Like,
I got to see how Shunei plays in 13 because I had this one Mugen game,
oh no.
and it was certainly something. I feel like Gang Il would play relatively well in 13.
Hopefully he would look a lot more interesting, is all I gotta say. Like, I really hope, I forgot who in one of my videos mentioned it, but they said in the KOF manga that Kim got back with Chang and Choi, so I don't know. I hope so, because Gongil just wasn't like that. Nah. But the messed up part is I would much rather play him by just like, you know, I would just put him slightly above Chang and Choi, but that's a personal thing. I know the two of them are kind of sort of classics, so meh.
I'm not a fan of them very much. I'm like, let's be straight with you.
By the way, pardon me for like the stream that I forgot to clock the number up 1. This is episode 8, by the way. Sorry, y'all. Episode 8, which is crazy because oh my god, I'm not gonna say it, but so yeah, did you catch the one little bit of like, because a lot of people were wondering, it's like we thought they were gonna call it like, you know, Team CYS, but you know, it's Team Orochi and all this there. Did you catch when they put like all 3 of the characters, when they confirmed it was Team Orochi, and you look in the bottom right, the
CYS
yeah,
logo.
you caught it, yeah.
Yeah, if you watch my video, I'm like, I see what you did there, SNK.
According to someone, they said like someone had replied to, I wanna, it was somebody, I forgot who. They said that the Japanese announcer actually said CYS.
Really?
Yeah, like I guess both announcers, I guess, said something different. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Jose said he was expecting Robert Garcia, but hey, I'm curious about that, to be honest. But you know what? I could see why he said he'd expect Robert Garcia, because if they would have put him out and not Chris, now, you know, oh my goodness, what's gonna happen here? Is it, you know, is Team AOF? Is that where Yuri Sakazaki's going? And then they're saying Rio for last. It's like I said, this right here is like the biggest twist that they have.
I would be so disappointed if it was. I'd be very disappointed if it was just Rio, Yuri, and Robert again.
Nah, well, no, I don't think it's gonna be them. I mean, come on, like they have the storyline there. They've got to run with it. They've got to run with it. They gotta run with him wanting to leave. He wants to leave. Let him go. Let Rio do his own thing. It makes sense then. Like I said, Rio's like, he's a hothead, but he's passionate. So it's like,
not to cut you off, Chris, but I'm looking in your chat, and Raspy Lightning, if you want to read his message out, but maybe a guest for an episode or 2.
An episode or 2. What? What I missed?
Look at it.
My bad, Raspy. Well, I'd like to meet you sometime. Any friend of those two is a friend of mine. Thank you. Plus, I've mentioned with Pancake many times, like an incredibly chill guy. I try to be. Just don't play paladins with me and you're good.
Or he's more of an Overwatch guy.
I play Overwatch too, and like it's the same thing. Same thing.
I have paladins. I haven't played it in a long time.
Overwatch is just a little bit better.
The thing with me is like I like both games, but the experience is still the same though. Like both games, you play support and you get trampled and they blame you for it. It's like shrug. Speaking of the chat, Chris KOF 15 looks kind of like a hunter. Okay, people keep making this reference. They keep referencing like he's like a Hunter x Hunter character. It's like I've seen multiple people make that reference. The only person I think I didn't see make that reference was probably, I don't know if Maximilian meant it then, but it's like,
did he even do a reaction?
That's a good question. I don't know if Max did I don't know if Max did one. But like,
I haven't seen one yet.
I've seen people make like that reference multiple times. Like he plays like a freaking Hunter x Hunter character. I'm like, a Hunter x Hunter. Now the thing is, my experience with that series is limited. The funny thing, the funny thing about it was, when the remake came out, I actually watched the original by accident. But the funny thing was, I think 2 or 3 of the characters were in J-Star Victory Versus. Like the main guy, isn't his name like Gon or something? I don't know. What's the main guy's name in Hunter x Hunter?
I don't know.
But yeah, like,
No idea.
but yeah, I know he was in J-Star Victory Versus, and both of them, because it was the main guy, like he had like, I think, a fishing rod as a weapon then, and I think there might have been a guy with electricity. I probably think it was a white-haired guy, like a white-haired kid. But I've just seen people constantly like reference Hunter x Hunter when it came to Chris's trailer. I'm like, and maybe that was it. I mean, with the videos that I've been working on in like trying to keep them surprising, but like, but y'all probably know this then if you looked at the characters in SNK. That staff really loves anime. That staff SNK really loves anime. Like point to,
Yeah.
like you could probably find some, but you'd be hard pressed to find some characters on the KOF roster or any characters that have even been like in one of the games. Most of them were inspired like from anime and manga. A lot of them were. Like the only one I can think of, like their big face, Terry Bogard. I don't think he's one. I know like he was built off of like American stereotypes, I think. But I know Kyo is definitely like Kyo's definitely anime inspired and manga, like whole bunches then. Which, by the way, for those of you watching that watch the Terry video there, the polls for that are closed, and I would have kept it open for a little bit more, the polls that is, but people kept voting Kyo, so for the next facts video, we're gonna do Kyo. I know a lot of people, like there's a couple people there that wanted to see Yuri. 2 also voted for Rio, including Syrin, I'm pretty sure was one of them. But last time I checked, the freaking tally was 6-2. So, Kyo will be next. And if you roll back, you rewind this, you're watching the VOD of this, you might have an idea of what you might see there, because I've already kind of put some of like what we'll cover in that video on there. Also, another video I'm just going to do for fun or whatnot, and this is kind of sort of me. How do I describe it? I'll put it like this. In under a certain time threshold, I'm going to tell you how I would build the KOF 15 roster. Because people, I think, look at my predictions and think that I'm building it based on what I want. If you want to know what I really want for like KOF 15, then stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Because it's like, I
was thinking of doing one of those at one point as well.
Yeah, but I know a lot of you don't like listening to me ramble for so long, so I'm going to do it at least under a certain threshold. Probably under 5 minutes. I'm going to try. If not 10. But Jose in the chat says, they did say they being SNK resembles he does. Let me look this character up. But, what else did like, any other comments about Not Me, Chris, while I'm searching and getting educated about some shonen?
One thing I saw is people weren't super happy about how he hadn't had much of a redesign. I never really minded Chris's design.
That was a hot topic. No pun intended.
I mean, they changed up his pants. At least they're not that weird, like those weird white jean pants that he had. Like, I always thought those were kind of odd looking on, like, everyone. Especially Orochi. He looked like,
even
yes.
Even Benimaru?
Odd. White jeans.
So
that's what the gods wear, white jeans.
So Benimaru in KOF 15 looks odd to you?
A little.
He's rocking white jeans. Yeah, that was okay. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
Kahlua. It is Kahlua. If I'm saying it right, Kahlua. Yeah, he's a shorter, white-haired Chris, not me, basically.
Huh.
Yeah, I just looked up the character, like, yeah, I could see it. By the way, if you're wondering why you don't see it on the screen on the stream, there, I'm using a second screen. But yeah, I see it. And he actually was the other character that was in J-Star Victory Versus, but he does look like a spiky-haired, shorter, white-haired. And like, there's this one pic. Well, that's a post. That's some artwork. But yeah, he looks like a freaking very short, white-haired, not me, Chris, right there. Seems cool though. But yeah, I saw a lot of that. People did not like the fact there was a lack of a redesign, which, I mean, I could sympathize with that, especially seeing. I don't think Yashiro really got redesigned all that much. Honestly, now I think about it, I think the only person that got a glow up, if you want to call it that, was really just Shermie, honestly. On that team,
Yeah.
it was just her.
Not you, yeah.
And then on top of that, now that you mentioned the two of them, one thing that I really appreciated in the trailer is the fact that now we finally got like some friendly interaction. Like usually when you see taunts and stuff like that, usually it's somebody like, because I used to complain about this in the beginning. Somebody would be stunned and then, just dizzy or whatnot, and, somebody else on the other side of the screen taunting them. So like seeing, the three of them, or at least in terms of like Chris interacting with them, to see them all like chummy and everything, like that was kind of a breath of fresh air. So,
Yeah.
that was a breath of fresh air. I just never understood like the whole thing, like they'd be dizzy and it's like, but then again, you know what, maybe I don't want to go there because you have certain people that don't like the Street Fighter comparisons, but a lot of people, any game that has like some situation where somebody gets dizzied or stunned, they love to taunt. Taunt, then finish you off. You'll have like that one person that'll probably taunt in the middle.
I do that a lot, to be honest.
Oh, look at you. What's up, Korobomb? But that was I mean, I know we're talking about little things here, like me and Syrin, like little details there, but just goes to show you how much of a difference these things can make. Because it's like I said, that was good. Like his presentation was just straight up. His presentation was dead on. Like, as I'm not a big fan of the character, but I just could not get over that bit where he's dodging all of Meiten-kun's attacks and just making Meiten-kun look stupid. Like, he made him look stupid. Word to anybody who's gonna sit and say, "Oh, I already thought he was stupid." Nah, come on. He's just somebody really like. It's amazing, like what you see, but like it just shows you the different portions of the fan base when it comes to KOF. Because there are some people where it's like they just look at someone like Shune and Meiten-kun is like, I kid you not, I saw this. You could believe it. I don't know why I'm acting like this is unbelievable. These are not KOF characters. These are not KOF characters. What happened to like the real men like Kyo? I'm like, jeez.
Do you guys did he tune out after the Nest saga or something?
The funny thing about it was,
we need real men like Ash Crimson and Xion.
the crazy thing about Ash was people hated him, people over here for the most part, because you heard the talk about Ash Crimson not really being that popular of a character over here in the West,
Yeah.
the East. Well, I had it right, the West. I'm thinking about where I am in the country versus the hemisphere. But yeah, he wasn't that popular. I mean, I just didn't like him, like I said, because people would bot. Like, I remember when I first started playing KOF 13 online, I would constantly get bodied by Ash Crimson players. I'll never forget getting hit by that 85 hit combo. Oh, good lord. What's up, Super Duper? Kuro Bomb laughed when you told me something like, did they tune out after the Nest saga? Kuro Bomb agrees. I mean, you're right. And the funny thing about it is, when they mention Kyo, it's funny because I need to stop doing this because. But anyways, Kyo was specifically made with the concept, like, even though he had all these different little influences from anime and manga, Kyo was made to be different from old school SNK protagonists then. Fatal Fury, AOF, because think about it, both of these games, mostly when it came to the dudes, it was older, jacked up, dieseled freaking men that Vince McMahon would just freaking fall out over. Big, muscly, sweaty men then. So they wanted somebody new, and you know, you get somebody like Kyo, and you know, he's different. I mean, it's a crazy.
Yeah,
and the funny
that's
thing
always what I kind of liked about KOF.
And the funny thing about it was, someone even tried to say, the same person that said that in that forum also tried to like support Crystal. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought you don't like freaking pretty boys. Like, I know Chris is little, like, you know, he's a
Supported who?
Chris,
Chris.
not me,
Okay, yeah.
not me, but Chris.
Yeah, okay. Wonder what he thinks of Bao, or Bao, whatever his name is.
Probably hated him. Jose in the
I'm
chat
not really a
says,
fan, but I don't hate him that much.
Jose in the chat says Ralph and Clark are the manliest KOF characters.
I don't know.
I know they went
They're
over.
pretty manly.
I know they went overboard with them in freaking 13.
Yeah, 13, they're like, yo, Clark, you gotta try this. It's called steroids. Yo, really? Yeah, give it a try. It's like 5 workouts in one.
Like I said,
Yo.
like I said, this is not me just being contrarian for the hell of it, like most people do, just to have the unpopular opinion. I'm just saying, maybe it is. I don't know, but like, but the thing is, I still love KOF 13's design. I love it, but it's like, don't act like the mess was untouchable. Do not act like the mess was untouchable. Like I said, I bring it up all the time. As somebody who mained Yuri Sakazaki, I hated her 13 sprite. I hated that mess. And then, like, Ralph and Clark have always been cool characters then, but it's like 13, as everybody in the chat is saying some variation of, and Syrin and all of you, the roids, man, like, freaking juiced. Always just juiced. Like, what's up? What's the problem? You know what that reminded me of, though?
Steroids.
You know what that reminded me of?
What?
Did you see how Bane looked in the first Injustice? Not the second one, the first one.
I have not seen how Bane looks in Justice 1 now.
Like, look it up there, like put it side by side. Like, it's crazy. Because
Hey, look at how jacked Terry was in that, though. And he is pretty jacked in 15 as well.
yeah, but it's not anything. It's not like this man legit has tree trunks, though. When people talk about people like having something big as tree trunks, they're talking about the legs, not the arms.
Oh my god, he's like Abigail.
You talking about Bane? Oh
Yeah.
my god, no. I just had this bad image of Ralph and Clark looking like little, like, baby versions of freaking Abigail. I mean, you're right, though. That's what they look like at 13. They look like Abigail. Little tiny Abigails. They just didn't have the freaking monstrous height.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the mess worked
I used to...
Mhm.
Oh, I was gonna say, I used to play as Ralph when I first started playing fighting games. When I first started playing 13, I think my team was Ralph, Benimaru, and Terry. And then I dropped that team like once I figured out how to play the game, because I'm like, wow, this Benimaru guy, I don't like him very much anymore.
He's alright. It's just I never liked fighting against freaking Benimaru. I've never liked fighting him then. Shout outs to all the awesome Benimaru players. Pro Chris! I keep saying that because, like, I don't know if he watches the Shattering, but I know Rizzy shouted out my channel, so. Kuro the Bomb in the chat says, I hate 13's art style, sprites be damned. Now, for the record, I think the strongest element of 13's design were the backgrounds. The backgrounds look really dope. I even liked how it was at a point where, you know, like you've seen it when somebody gets KO'd and like everything kind of just goes in slow-mo for a bit and then everything just goes crazy afterward. Like, I actually like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That was cool. Some sprites were good. Like, King's was alright. Kyo had a good one. Benimaru had a good one. Goro looked great.
I think K-Dash looked amazing in it.
K was really good. I agree. K-Dash was really good. He had a really good sprite. Who else? Because gloss over Clark and Ralph. Then Leona's was good. Leona's was fine. Andy's was okay. Kim's was good. But it's like, I think the thing is, Goro Daimon's, Jose, Goro's was actually really good in my opinion. That was actually good. His was fine. I mean, Goro's always been like, see, the thing is, Goro's always been like the giant. He's the gentle, like, he's always been like a big dude then. Like Goro Daimon, basically, it looks like if you go from like when they made, you know, Ralph and Clark, when they looked a lot more like natural big guys or whatever, then like,
Yeah.
I know it sounds redundant, but Goro's always been like huge, like he's a big guy, you know. So
Shen looks pretty good.
when it went from when you take like old school like freaking when you compare Ralph and Clark to when they looked a lot more human like then, they look like, as y'all said, they were on some combination of steroids and Bane's venom, I guess. Somebody in the chat said super freaking steroids, so I mean, I guess that's a good to say though, Syrin.
Oh, I said some other characters that looked pretty good. It was probably Shen, Ash, Dulon, and probably what's his name?
Elizabeth looked good too. I agree with all those. Elizabeth looked good
Rio looked pretty good as well.
too. Raiden actually was really he looked really good too, Jose. Raiden was really good. I came across the most random thing.
Seeing him in like HD for the first time.
Yeah. I saw the most random thing when I was doing research for like one of my videos. They were legit. I hope they were. Hey, maybe they were kidding. I'm not sure. I don't always like to think that every idiot is a troll because some people are legitimately dumb. So just calling them trolls is like saying, no, people can't be dumb. They've got to be messing around. But it was a forum. I forgot where. I should have saved this. But there were guys legitimately in there complaining about whether or not Raiden was Big Bear. Like one guy was like, that can't be him because
serious?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I forgot what I was looking for, but somehow I stumbled upon that. Wasn't that the name of a website? Stumble Upon or something like that?
No idea.
But yeah, it's like they were legit in that forum arguing about, you know, whether or not, like, you know, were they the same person? Because one guy was like, there's no way in the world that he can be Big Bear because Raiden wears a mask. It's like, yeah, he could take the mask off though.
No, the mask's glued to his face. Trust me, I asked.
No, like freaking Bane's mess is more like confined to his head than his, then since it's got like the tubes running in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, because I mean, they're based on the same person. They're based off of Vader, or as he was known in Japan, Big Van Vader. Another big guy. He looked like, if you look at Big Van Vader, you could tell like they designed Raiden after him. They did, totally. But that was like the funniest thing. I'm like, they're the same person. They're the same. They're the same. Although I didn't like the faces for Huajai and Chindo, those two look like zombies in KOF 13. I'm gonna let Syrin talk to you about that, Jose. Cause you mentioned Huajai.
What did he say?
He said, although I didn't like the faces for Huajai and Chindo, those two looked like zombies in KOF 13. He mentioned Huajai, so I'm gonna leave you to that.
Okay. For one.
I love how we forward anything boss straight to Syrin.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, for one, Huajai looked fine. I mean, if you've seen his original sprite, you can't tell me that he looks worse, because he kind of always looks like a zombie. Let's not beat around the bush. He's this drunk, bald guy with like he's kind of ugly looking a little bit, but he's not like horribly ugly. Let's face it, he looks like a zombie because he looks like a zombie, not because of the sprite in KOF 13. Shin just looks weird.
He looks like a zombie because he looks like a zombie.
I mean, you can't tell me this guy doesn't look kind of zombie-ish, though. Like, look at any picture of him, except maybe this one. But, like, any other picture of him, he looks like a freaking Halloween character from Scooby-Doo.
I always just thought of, like, another... With Waja, I always just think of, like, a skinnier, more annoying version of Adon, really. It's like all these...
I thought he is better sounding.
Both of them are a little... Both of them are
I
kind of...
never thought...
Both of them are grating in my... Like, I couldn't stand either one of them talking, to be honest.
I hate the way Adon sounds. I find the way Hua sounds more interesting and more,
They're
fine,
Japanese...
because I don't find them annoying.
Their Japanese dubs sound very... I ain't gonna say sound very similar, but they both have that harsh, shrill sounding mess. Like... I never realized how annoying it was, because like I actually had skipped over the one earlier Street Fighter game, not 4, that Adon was in. Because at first, like it was one of those instances where it's like I don't remember this character being in this game, and so a friend points me out to it there, and it's just like I thought freaking Adon in 4 was bad enough as it is, but oh my god, like the mess in the older games is worse. Yeah, Jagatu, yeah, Jagatu. Oh my god, stop. Oh, please.
Like Dragon Kick. I think also the name of the move sound better and the way he says it. Because Dragon Kick, you can tell it's, I don't know, I feel like, it sounds a lot better. I've heard what Adon sounds like, and he sounds like...
They both sound the same.
Addict.
They both sound the same to me. At least in terms of like, I don't know if I can judge for like Hwaja, because I don't think he ever was. I don't recall him ever having an English dub, but like, oh my god.
If he had an English dub, then he'd be very annoying. But since he's only in Japanese,
no. Get it away from me, please. So you had a bullet point, did you not? There. What'd you want?
Oh, yeah. I got 2 bullet points here.
Well, shoot then, cowboy. It's high noon.
Okay, so this one is, what do you think is more important overall? Great gameplay or good online? You have to choose one.
What do you think is more important, great gameplay or great online? I would argue that they're kind of sort of mutually exclusive. I would argue that because now on one hand I get what you mean, because it separates from, like, for instance, specifically talking about online, you talk about the functionality of the game. Does this work? Like, don't want KOF 15 to have any crap where you run and you miss an attack and the freaking game just sticks you in a position like allegedly what happened in Cyberpunk. Apparently I still cannot wrap my head around the fact people were saying they ran into walls in Cyberpunk and were stuck there. But it's like,
yeah,
at this point in time, and I mean, unfortunately, the one reason why I think a lot of like KOF or like SNK games die out is because like online be lackluster. That, and also, like I said, single player content. I know a lot of people who are competitive don't like hearing about that. A lot of them that are like big time gatekeepers talk about, hey, you want single player content, go play single player games, play your adventure games, blah 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 blah, go play that mess. This is fighting games. But it's like, we, the competitives, the scene, all that, then you're only one section of the audience. And the messed up part about it is, if they could legitimately take every single one of y'all and put them in a room and say, okay, all the competitive people on this side and all the freaking casuals on the other side, they would surround y'all. There would be so many of them that they would surround y'all. So you've got to satisfy, or at least find a balance. You've gotta.
That reminds me about we were learning in history class, we were learning about like these Native American tribes and how one of them just expands around the other.
Mm-hmm.
And originally it was like just two different ones, and they were like, oh, side by side. But then the other one grew just so much, and it like fully surrounded it. So it's just like a donut.
Yep.
That's just what that reminded me of.
I mean, that's what it would look like, bro. I'm telling you. Parker in the chat. I think that was a response to like your question, Syrin, because it was like both, even the roster too. The roster does matter. I mean, I forgot who said it, but someone was talking about like fighting game in most cases is as good as its characters. You don't have enough inspiring good designs. I mean, if it's not inspiring people to play, you're kind of screwed. You're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I can't take my eye off of gameplay, because gameplay is a big factor too. Because a lot of people really like want a resurgence of sorts, like to get the 13 feel. 13 is like the cream of the crop when it comes to like, I guess, the modern KOF games. So I know people strive for that. I mean, hey, if you could somehow just find a way to like blend a little bit of 14, which would, not intimidate less experienced.
Honestly, from what I've seen so far, I think that's what they're doing with it. Sorry for cutting you off there.
Going back to 13, you mean?
Well, not going back completely. Well, I think in terms of gameplay, I think it's going to be a mix of the two. From what I've seen, the way stuff you can cancel the special, and then into super without it. And then you could do like super into super, which reminded me kind of the EX fighting layer. You've seen this in the trailers before, right? Like you saw, like with Terry, it was like he did. I think it was level 2 Buster Wolf into level 1 Power Geyser into Buster Launcher.
The drive cancels came back too, because he did shoulder into Power Dunk too. So those are there. I mean, it's amazing.
I feel like it's going to be like a blend up of the two. I mean, I don't know if you've heard this, but I think the what's it? I don't know his name. I think it's Oda.
Yeah.
Oda,
the producer,
lead developer, said something like this game's going to be a supreme masterpiece. And
You guys would not know how much I hold back. Are you even speaking English at this point? It's kind of funny.
Oh man, what parts of that did you not get though? Like, probably the mechanics,
Just mechanics and stuff, yeah.
Okay, so drive cancels. I know I mentioned that. It's the first thing that comes to mind. If you watch Terry Bogard, if you watch Terry Bogart's trailer, his KOF 15 trailer, you see that. So basically, two of his moves. You have the shoulder tackle where he kind of turns around and then he throws a shoulder at you, right? And then power dunk is a separate move. Drive canceling basically is whenever like someone cancels a special move into another special move. Like side by, like they combo together, like it's an actual combo. Like it's not like a juggle. Sometimes it can be, but sometimes, like once we're talking about drive canceling, like because for instance, he comes off the ground when he does the power dunk. So it's like, that was one of the more unique things when it came to KOF. Is like, you're canceling special moves into special moves. That's how a lot of the craziness in KOF 13 happens, because KOF 13 had the drive gauge, where if you did what was called a drive cancel, you would use half of your meter. But what most people would do is go into, I guess, I've heard so many different nicknames for it, but basically I don't want to say overdrive. Overdrive is BlazBlue, but basically you would go into like an EX like mode or whatever, where basically your drive cancel meter becomes a timer, and like as long as it is going, you can keep doing like the possibilities are endless. When you do drive cancels as you are in that little drive state, they're called HD cancels. So,
okay. Do you remember that green bar that was above your meter for
Yeah.
like supers and EX moves?
What are you talking about?
that's your drive gauge.
Yeah, so I put a video if you want like a better visual representation, but you can basically go from special move to special move.
Like, that is why a lot of people, at least around where I was when, because a lot of people around where, like, you know, I used to play stuff, they didn't really like Marvel 2 like that, because they didn't want to be like, I don't want to be caught in a combo in a loop and I gotta sit there and just watch my character die. Like, they didn't like that. So, because that's what Marvel 2 was full of. It was full of infinite combos that as long as the person, you know, did it and didn't drop anything, didn't mistime any buttons, you were stuck there until the character died. And a lot of people don't like that. So when 13 came around, then people on the outside looking in, at least around where I was, they would look at what 13 was like, and they were getting their first taste of it because they got into 14, but they were wondering what the previous game was like. When they looked at some of the stuff that was possible in 13, they were just like, no, I am not about to sit here and watch my character just get annihilated and then there's nothing I can do about it. So, like I said, around where I was, the little shop or whatnot.
What's funny is,
like, Smash was big. They like Tekken over there. They like Mortal Kombat X. So, not a lot of, like, I mean, Tekken's a different story because with certain characters, you could get quote-unquote death comboed, as they call it, even though I know they nerfed it for Geese, because I saw people do crazy stuff with Geese. Crazy stuff. Kuro Bomb says, Oda himself said the KOF 14 was supposed to be a combination of 98's neutral game, 2002's max mode. That's what I meant to say. Thank you. When I was talking about the EX mode, it's called max mode. My bad. I got it wrong. Yeah, it's called max mode when you go into that mode where you're flashing, like when your character's flashing and then like the meter above like your regular one, that's when it becomes a timer. That was called max mode. How did I slip my mind? Thank you, Kuro Bomb. And I also mentioned it was also a combination of 13's meter management, which is true. 98 neutral doesn't work when big combos are needed. That's the flaw. Solid point. What'd you think of that, Syrin?
I had not heard that until now, but that sounds pretty dope. I haven't played 98. I played 2002 and 2002 UM. If it's 2002 UM's meter, the way that works, I'm very screwed. But hey,
I think Masahiro Sakurai even recommended, like, you know, to the Smash audience, you know, he recommended that particular KOF game, which was
98, 95, yeah.
Yeah, 98, 95, like, because props to him, because that, I had never seen the full Terry video for Smash until recently, and just the way he breaks down everything, introducing the characters, talking about how much he loves the music, like, Masahiro Sakurai, he's a great dude. Because most people, like, nowadays, they won't, I mean, not all that common, though, but some people, like, unless they're doing crossovers with, like, someone else, then they won't usually blatantly, you know, try to sell something like that to them, you know, but SNK is kind of niche compared to, like, all the other games, so, like I said, good on his part. I appreciated that. I just love how he came and was like, what are y'all talking about? Mechanics, like, fighting game mechanics are kind of crazy.
Yeah, I remember when I first started playing, I'm like, what does this green bar do? I thought,
oh lord.
Like, I thought at first it was like, it allowed me to cancel between things with having more opportunity to cancel between frames. And I thought it allowed me to do, like, a little bit more damage when I hit someone. I was completely wrong when I thought that. It's, well, at least for the first half I was half right, but not very right. Anyways, I eventually learned how to figure that out. I didn't even know what a Rekka was at that point. I'm like, uh, now the most complicated thing I've been trying to figure out is Deadly Rave. I've been able to actually do it once with Geese in 2002 UN, and I was also able to get Raging Storm to come out. That one's a mess to try and do. Actually, I've been able to get that one to come out like 5 times.
It's even sillier in
And
Tekken.
It might be easier in Tekken.
No,
I
it is sillier.
Is it?
It's sillier. It is sillier. Like over time, like I had to go and practice it a little bit, and it like I got it, but sheesh, like taking like because it's legit a very similar input. Now take that input and put it in a game like Tekken that's 3D, where it's like, you know, up is not jumping. You're pretty much 3D walking, as they call it in those games. So like you're trying not to like, you know, accidentally 3D walk when you're trying to do Raging Storm. Now you can still like buffer. Yeah. Buffering, by the way, is basically anytime you input like a certain input while the character is doing something else. Like usually when it comes, just to make sure I don't talk too much craziness, we don't get too far out there like trying to at least keep, you know, Pancake in the loop, but like that's what buffering usually is. Because like that's why sometimes you'll see people that play grapplers, and grapplers in most cases with their command grabs, they're usually like in KOF you'll see full, like, you know, a full 360 motion with the D-pad. Sometimes it'll be something as simple as a half circle back, a half circle forward. But like when it comes to like the full 360 motion, you'll see a lot of people buffer that motion while like doing like another move like a normal. That's why, because usually when you do like a 360, like for those that are not experienced with fighting games, because the one thing that everybody does when they see moves like that, especially the supers when you have to do 2 of them, the one thing that everybody thinks they can do is, oh, let me just jump in the air, jump forward, and I can do the 2 motions while I'm jumping in the air, and when I land, oh, which can be a legit strategy, like, you know, but at the same time, it's, well, not really a strategy, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. So it's like, what do you do to like not be predictable? Because think about it, if someone just sees that you only do the 2 360 motions to do the super every time you jump, they're gonna get hip to the game. So like, what do you do next? So that's why in certain cases you'll see like, that's how you see people do these motions without like certain characters flying off the ground or whatever. You know, people doing 360 motions or 720s, if you want to call them that. They're buffering the directional inputs while the character is, for instance, throwing up like a button or a punch or a kick.
Yeah. I had to get the hang of that with Jack in EX Fighting Layer. Fighting EX Layer, however you want to go by it.
Good old Jack.
He's a fun character. When I first saw Ultimate Punches thing, I'm like, what? I was holding all 3 buttons, and I'm like, huh. And then I let go, and I'm like, oh, okay, I have an idea.
Jose in the chat says, unfortunately though, KOF 95 is not really balanced. No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
I have no idea. I have not played any of the older games, again, apart from 2002. And
Nope. And it's not just because that was one of them Omega Rugal games. It has nothing to do with just Omega Rugal. I guarantee you that. What is the other bullet point that you had?
This one's more silly because I was thinking about it.
Oh god, here we go.
And it has to. Okay, well, it's not ridiculously silly. It's kind of.
Sure.
It's related to the last one.
Sure.
But I was watching a Maximilian video, and I remember I played this game before, and I'm like, okay, it has fun aspects, right? But it's also very wacky. So, if SNK released SCV Chaos with rollback netcode, do you think people would play it more than games with better mechanics, but with worse online, such as Street Fighter V?
Ooh. Because SVC Chaos is... That's a cold...
The way I would describe it It's a cult classic. But
It's a cult classic.
Wait,
Yeah, it is.
Have you ever played it?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Okay. So, I don't know if you'll agree with me, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad game. It gets overshadowed by the other two, versus games. SCP Chaos, in my opinion, isn't a bad game. I think it's
No, it isn't.
just a little.
By the way, AZ, I see you. I got you in a
some
minute.
areas.
Keep on going, Syrin. I got you, AZ. And
It's a little wacky in a couple areas.
Oh, it
but
is.
it's still a fun game.
Oh yeah.
Like I have like an emulator of it on my computer, and I'm like, I kind of feel like playing it. Just kind of surprising.
I mean, at this point, seeing how high demand, like the high demand for games with rollback netcode and all that, if they brought that there now, do I think it would deplete from like some other games, like for Street Fighter V? At the very most, they will probably make a dent, because the thing is, Street Fighter V, and I kind of understand why they do this now, because now they kind of have all eyes, well, not really all eyes, but a lot of eyes on them now for a multitude of different reasons. Because one, like me, I'm pretty sure there's some folks out there like me, they cannot wait. Rose is great, by the way. Rose is great, like really good. But a lot of folks are eagerly waiting for Akira Kazama. Number one. Number two, we still don't know what the last character is, so that's why I feel, because at first I was wondering, why didn't they just reveal the whole past? But I'm like, okay, that makes sense with all the theories talking about they're keeping it super secret, so it's going to be something unexpected. But
the thing I'm hoping for is it's like an SNK character. I doubt. I feel like it will be very disappointing in the end.
Well, that's the thing.
I feel like
that's the thing, though, because I was gonna say flashback to when this was the same thing when it came to Ultra Street Fighter 4, and we got DiCaprio, who
imagine if we get DiCaprio again. How pissed everyone will be.
I personally don't. The character is actually okay to me. Like, although I was kind of questioning why did they pick the one Bison doll that looked like Cammy, like. Yeah, that might have been a little bit lazy, but I mean, as far as like gameplay, DiCaprio was actually alright. I mean, now on one hand, we've seen her before, but it's like, why that particular one? But of course, Yoshinori Ono is kind of known to also troll like the fans too, then like maybe not to the degree of like Masahiro Sakurai or Ed Boon, but he does, troll the fans, so there be that. Koro Bomb asks, Syrin, have you played Fighting X Layer Another Dash on Switch?
I have not. I have a Switch, but I already have the X Fighting Layer on my computer, so I don't really have too much reason for it.
Now you see how I feel talking about 2002 UM on PC. Because I have 2002 UM and like Garu Mark of the Wolves on PS4. But the discount actually was pretty good though. Okay, so AZ.
Are you gonna get it?
Me? Probably so. I mean, hey, but might as well get it while the sale is there then, because the worst thing about Steam sales is you kind of sleeping on something there that has a good discount, and then for whatever reason you take your eye off it too long, and then poof, gone.
Who knows? Maybe in the future, if he does get it, for one
I heard about that. Another Dash has no Gucci and no mechanics. I heard about not no mechanics, but new mechanics. My bad. Yeah, I heard about that.
I'm like, no mechanics. Wow. So I won't buy it. Go back to playing chess, I guess.
Alright, so AZ in the chat threw a little something interesting in here. I have a question for you. What do you think about this kind of fan service that we are starting to see in KOF 15, for example, with Shermie's disproportionated design and other stuff? So, what this reminds me of? Event Hubs, which covers fighting games, like fighting game news of all kinds, and even Smash. I'm still taking a dig at these people that say Smash is not a fighting game. I still wonder what the world is it if it's not a fighting game. But Event Hubs legit did an article about this. But the funny thing about it was, they were talking about how in certain shots in the freaking Shermie trailer, like you could totally like, and it wasn't matter of fact, let me find the article right quick. But it made me laugh so much. But what do I think about like this kind of fan service? To me, it's hit or miss. Like, fan service to me is not that. To me, it's not that big a deal. To me, it's not that really big a deal. Because think about it. Imagine if Shermie looked like she did now, like people like me and others, like completely summoning thirst pools.
Okay.
After seeing like think about it, people like me, like y'all saw, like you can watch it right now. You can see like why like people like me reacted to the way she was redesigned. Like I said, she looked great. She looked hot. But imagine if that's all the character had going from them, and the fact that they weren't fun to play. Imagine if like the company, more than likely trolling, just kept nerfing and made her bad. Because the funny thing about it is, I used to play Mortal Kombat 11 really hardcore, but so much stuff surrounding that game turned me off of it. Like I always say, the community and like portions of the community that asked for that freaking custom variations mess specifically, they collaborated with I jokingly say they collaborated with NRS to pretty much kill that game for me personally. But I remember, and I'm pretty sure you probably do too, even being on the outside, people did not like the fact that there was no Melina in the game. Before I forget, hey Shuichi in the chat, nice to see you. No Melina. The first combat pack comes out. Where's Melina?
MK11?
Yeah, MK11.
Yeah.
So then they finally bring her out, and one person who I sub to and I love his content, some of y'all might know him, True Underdog Gaming, shoutouts to him. I remember seeing him post a video and it caught my attention, especially for somebody who hasn't watched a Mortal Kombat 11 video, anything about it in a while. Melina is the most boring character in MK11, he said. I'm like, is he just clickbaiting like he usually does? Like when he, has his new series, the most broken character in Injustice 1, the most dumbest character in Injustice 1, like, it's good. He talks about them, but still, all that hype around it.
He's one to talk if he's talking about the most dumbest character.
No, I was just making fun. Like, I don't know. I don't think he is. I think he's a teacher, so I think he is.
Oh, yes.
I think he's a teacher. And like, but anyways, out of sheer curiosity, I was like, wait a minute, Melina. So I click into the video. It's like a whole bunch of people are just like, she's so boring. She's so boring. She's so boring. Also boring. Now think about it. They were so hyped up for that. They finally were like, we finally got what we wanted. And then she's boring. Now imagine if that was Shermie. She'd be just a good looking, boring mess. Which would be a crime, honestly speaking. Oh my god. I'm just laughing at that because I was telling a friend because he didn't know what Dark Phoenix does in Marvel 3. And I told him like the chip damage that freaking character does should be a federal crime. And he just fell out laughing. But yeah, it's like, eye candy's okay, but it's like, I mean, I'm playing a game here. Like, I know I'm looking at the screen, I'm looking at the character, but it's like, if they can't play that well, if their gameplay is not that intriguing, what is there? I mean, because look, let me tell you about one character that might be, as far as recent characters, like very, very recent characters, who who would be like my top, far as like eye candy, if you want to call it that, since I'm only saying that because Jose put it in the chat. Giovanna and Guilty Gear. I love that character's design. I love Giovanna's design. And on top of that, being a furry, it's like having, I don't know if it's a gear. I don't think Ray is a gear, but nevertheless, it's a wolf, like ghost thing or whatnot. That was extra points for me. You know what I'm saying? But if you recall,
Yeah.
I did a video about how they could improve her gameplay. I mean, it's not bad, but it's lacking. And it's like, even Maximilian, like, I didn't even know about like that at first, and because usually when I try to talk about these topics, I try to just put my own, you know, opinion out there and everything. I don't want to like piggyback off of anything like that. Now, I'll admit if I watched you or like somebody or not, I'll admit it, but you know, that's just that. But I didn't know until a friend of mine who watches Max religiously had said the same exact thing. As like, you know, I like how she plays. I like the rushdown play. Her design is awesome. Like, she's freaking character. She's a good looking character. Great looking woman, but it's like the gameplay is so flat. It's flat, which is ironic if you look and see what Giovanna looks like. But the freaking your gameplay is so flat though. Like it's not bad, but like, come on, man, come on. So that's why I did the video about ideas of how they could improve her. So that's like just how I feel about stuff like that. I mean, eye candy's okay and everything, but sooner or later, I mean, if you got nothing else to offer, I mean, I will play Najed if Najed is more fun than obvious piece of eye candy right here. You know what I'm saying? It's a game. We're playing. We're actively involved in this. Now, I mean, hey, not to say I wouldn't like, you know, for instance, somebody who mentioned it was a Curl Bomb, because he was like, shout outs to Kitty Kaboom for having that Shermie cosplay in 2 days. Did she? Probably did. I wouldn't be surprised.
Who? What?
Kitty Kaboom is a cosplayer because I know she did a cosplay of my favorite new Sam Show character, Darlie Dagger. Now, maybe this is just kind of me breaking my own opinion there of what you heard me talk about when it came to AZ's question. But a lot of people thought Darlie Dagger was boring because all you do with her is just you jump heavy slash, 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 jump heavy slash. Now, I'd be biased. I mean, sometimes I like looking just at the character then, but like it's not even so much looking at her, like just the moves too. The moves are great. Like the fact this weapon changes forms depending on like what attacks you do.
Oh, wow.
Like she looks great and she's fun, at least for me. You know, the animations look great. Nobody like, unless of course maybe a game is just too, like for instance what I told y'all about Kyo. Kyo was made to be kind of a new age character where you had a bunch of old dudes, old buff guys and everything. He was supposed to be something fresh new. Maybe if you were like pining for a game that's too over, like freaking juiced up on freaking adrenaline, so maybe you want somebody a little normal maybe, or a lot more relatable, it's cool. But I'm saying all that because in most cases with these games, nobody wants to like play with a boring character regardless of how good or ugly they look. That's my thing. So it's like, I mean, the redesign with Shermie was great, but it's like, how does she play though? Because you know how people are, like, fans will tell you outright if they make your, you know, if in their opinion, which there's various, they ruined my character. She's boring. Oh, she's boring. It's like, I don't think they ruined her. Like, I don't think they ruined Shermie at all. I promised y'all I'd find this freaking article and just read it verbatim. I can't freaking find it. But let me reiterate the question so Syrin or Pancake can talk y'all while I try to hunt down this freaking article. Why'd I say hunt down? Before I got on stream with y'all, I was playing Dead by Daylight. I was playing Legion, and I always think of hunting people when it's like a Legion. AZ, question. What do you think about this kind of fan service, and they put fan service in air quotes, that we are starting to see in KOF 15, for example, with Shermie's disproportionated design and other stuff? But there you go. As I hunt down this article.
So I assume we're talking fan service in the way of how they look, obviously, and not just like them being there now.
Yeah.
Or is it both?
I think they're talking about, like, you know, the look and all that, the eye candy and all that, as Jose put it.
I wasn't expecting them to do that to King, but like,
I forgot all about that.
I think it's fine, right? It doesn't. Anyway, I think the fact that they've added this is fine. I don't think it does anything bad, and it definitely changes up the way they look. Although, once again, I don't know, I guess King put on some weight, but it went straight to her hips. Anyway, it's fine.
I muted my mic. Think I knew I was gonna like scream. Now I was like, I wanted to be considerate to all the listeners in YouTube.
Let's just hope, for the sake of everyone's sanity, they don't give Kula the Dragon Maid treatment. And
you said the Dragon Maid treatment.
Or do, you know what? I bet there's going to be a lot of fans out there that will be very happy with that. Not me, but
there's this. So they got this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Chris, there's this. They announced Dragon Maid Season 2, right? Which is this really popular slice of life anime.
No wonder I don't, because I don't watch a lot of slice of life. But keep on going.
But there's this one character, because everything is really bizarre. Oh my god, okay.
Oh my god.
Let me find a good angle.
Oh my god, Kurobon. Alright, before I forget, I found it. This is an actual, like, headline, and there's like a subheading too on Event Hubs. Fans are raving over Shermie's visuals in King of Fighters 15, but did SNK really need to give her a visible butt crack? And the subheading right under that says, short answer, yes, they did.
Okay, so that's the character, the one with the pink hair. It's like a, she kind of looks like a little girl, like Kula.
Man, this sounds like, this looks like that mess that one of my friends told me about, something that, the way it looks, that's what I'm getting vibes from.
What I mean by the Dragon Maid treatment is...
I think I know. Let me guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me guess.
Look really,
the one on the left.
That would look very
the one on the left.
on Kula.
The one on the left. You didn't just say that. Tell me you didn't just say that.
Say what?
You said uncoola. Really?
Oh.
You said uncoola. Go back and watch the VOD. Go back and watch the VOD when this is done. Then you said something not being or being uncoola. You said it.
Wow.
That
was unintentional.
You said it. You did. Y'all heard that. Let me know in the chat. There's 7 of y'all here. Somebody had to have heard him say something like, "That's not cooler." I mean, y'all can rewind it. Then I can't rewind it because I'm.
Didn't mean to. He definitely said that isn't very cool.
I don't know about He tried to sneak that in there.
No,
thinking that we would no-sell it. He tried to sneak that in there, thinking that we would no-sell.
Sure, we'll go with that. Let's just hope they don't. I feel like her quarter circle backward kick would have some weird flair.
Man, all I gotta say is they freaking shoehorned Kula into freaking Dead or Alive. So who's to say what we can expect going forward? I don't know.
Just trying to think of a character they would do that to.
Like, oh my god, I'm so freaking. But did you hear I found the headline or whatever. What'd you think? You hear what I said?
You said something about the headline. What's up with that?
I found the article I was looking for on Event Hubs. It said fans are raving over Shermie's visuals in King of Fighters 15, but did SNK really need to give her a visible butt crack? And the subheading says, Short answer, yes. Yes, they did. Like, the messed up part about it was I had internally thought about that because there was a portion when I did like my reaction and analysis to her trailer. There was a couple of portions I paused there where it's like, in my mind I'm thinking, please don't tell me like, I mean, wait a minute. I was like, no, obviously people, like freaking people in the comments are gonna talk about it, but please nobody major, like nobody drop a video about this, please. It is like, just so happens, is like Event Hubs didn't drop a video, but like nevertheless, it was a headline that put that out there. Like a freaking, it's a major, one of the major fighting game publications like online. So, but I'm like, really, they did it. But I'm gonna go back to something Jose said. Jose said, so what? I love me some eye candy in my games. Why else would divas wrestle in WWE? Because it keeps viewers watching. Mr. McMahon knows his audience.
That's the thing.
That is a little debatable nowadays, as far as Vince knowing his audience. Vince has been known to go rogue these days. But I get what you mean. And I mean, on top of that, it's like, the thing is, back when there used to be like just, you know, the pretty, like, you know, I'm just gonna say, like, you know, the quote unquote, like, basically when they would get like supermodels and try to get them to know how to wrestle or whatever, it's like, now that people are a lot more hip to the industry these days, then they look back on some of that stuff and they don't look at it like it's not looked at kindly nowadays. And I don't mean like in the sense of like new age stuff. I'm talking about the fact everybody these days is talking about like somebody's, you know, how talented they are, like, you know, and everything like that. And the thing is, you can have both. That's the reason why Trish Stratus was so hailed then. This was somebody who was a supermodel, I think a fitness instructor, who actually freaking legit learned the craft, honed it, and got better over time. That's the reason like why people like, you know, she had both. Good looks, and could wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Same thing applies. That's just how I see it. Because it's like, a character can look good though, but it's like, if they're not engaging or if they're not fun to play, hey, if I want to just look at it, I'd buy a print from an artist like at a convention or something, or a wall scroll. I mean, but that's the crazy thing though. It's like, even with like, I'm just tripping over the fact I forgot about the whole King thing right there. I forgot all of it. And the messed up part was, I'm trying to think, because I know in 2 different reactions I've done, I've told on myself by saying I want to say something, but I don't want to say it out loud. I'm trying to think, did I say it for King or whatnot? I think I did. The 2 times was like Shermie and one for Maya, I think. But I didn't mention the thing about King, because at first when I saw the King trailer and everybody talking about the pound cake and everything, I thought I was tripping at first.
Yeah.
I thought I was tripping at first. I was like, no, it's just me. It's just me. That's just me. It can't be. And then there's that one infamous like shot, the one where like everybody like just collectively like, damn. So I'm like, okay, maybe I wasn't tripping after all. But I mean, come on, it's like people have liked King for decades, I want to say. Like, because King is like he's a veteran character. Like, it's not just much the fact, you know, hey, like now all of a sudden she's got a little something back there now, but I mean, she still plays well. And like, even though I laughed at it in my trailer though, I still thought the way she was like doing a little catchphrase, come on baby, I thought it sounded good, even though I didn't promise I wouldn't say it ever again. I said I wouldn't try to sound flirtatious and say it again, because if you watch my reaction, the way I said it, I was like, never again will I ever try to do that. There's some y'all like my voice for freaking who was it?
It was
Psyche. Y'all like my Psyche voice there, but it's like I would never ever try to freaking flirtatiously say, come on baby again.
It's like, come on baby.
But no, that mess better not have a cooler. It better not. No. I was about to say she's a robot, but I'm like, nah, that's technically not right.
She ain't a robot.
Because it reminded me of people that were like, and I mean, my whole thing is this. If a certain company's doing something with a game that you don't particularly like find favorable, then support the ones that do it. Cause I thought the whole thing, and yeah, by the way, Kurobam, I see you, Stacy Keebler still is attractive now I think about it. Yeah. I haven't seen any recent pictures of Stacy Keebler, but I think Stacy Keebler's still like fine. Oh, I was looking in the chat, but AZ said, I remember the popcorn joke mistake, that was fun. But where was I going with this? Oh my god, I forgot. Dang it. I still hear him saying it's not cooler. I still hear it, like the pun to knock. I can't even think straight.
I'm gonna be straight with you. That was completely unintentional.
I mean, hey, I believe you because I do it all the time. Unintentional rhymes, unintentional puns, unintentional references. The times where my friends would accuse me of breaking, like, it wouldn't be on purpose, but like we would be playing some stuff and like I glitched the game out or whatnot. Sometimes it would happen, sometimes it didn't. The last time I remember that happened, now I know I was going with it, but I'll get to that after this. But yeah, when we played fighting games, like me amongst like, you know, my college fam who are still my family today, we still talk, we still hang out, just not in a pandemic world, but oh well. Yeah. So I played one of my best friends, my brother, Johnny Phantom, actually sold the character Peacock from Skullgirls to me. Because at first I thought the character was the most corniest mess ever as far as like the playstyle. Like the design I was okay with because I like, you know, invoking that, you know, that same like retro feel that Cuphead goes for and all that. So then like I started playing Peacock, and apparently I forgot there was this one, because basically Peacock's whole thing is this really ridiculous keep away game, whether it's shooting like the guns or whatever, sending bombs at you in carts, have one flying over her head, dropping stuff on your head. There's a particular thing that she can drop when you fully charge the drop special move, but it rarely shows up. Like it very, very rarely shows up. It's a steamroller, and like some freaking creature is like on it. And the reason why it's so standout is because if the steamroller shows up and it hits the person, the whole game, like everything except for like the steamroller and the person that they're trampling, everything stops. And like the steamroller like falls on top of them and like they just do like damage.
Oh, that's like a complete JoJo reference.
Yeah, there's a bunch of JoJo references in Skullgirls. I know that much. There's a lot of references. Period. Because I know my favorite Skullgirls character, Eliza, has a skin that is based on, what is the one that was from Egypt? What's his name?
Oh, Abdul?
Okay, never mind. Maybe it was a female.
Okay, wait. So, doesn't
wait.
burn knuckle?
Say what?
Doesn't Annie straight up just have burn knuckle?
Basically, that's what that is. It's basically a burn knuckle without the fire, and she does like a little hop.
Does she even say it?
She probably does.
As one of her things.
It's been a minute since I actually went to beta and played Annie. For the record, I was actually going to surprise y'all with the stream last week where I'm playing like, you know, Skullgirls, just, you know, chilling and talking. I want to do something a little bit different and a little special since y'all got me up to 500 subs. So, but stuff was in the way and like I didn't think I was presentable enough to play. So, but here's the hope that I might just do it regardless. Like next week, play like some Skullgirls randomly one day, play like something, and just chill and just talk with y'all about stuff. But I remember what I was saying. Yeah.
You have Skullgirls on PC?
Yeah, I do. I actually got the beta too. I got the beta.
I think I have both.
Me too. Cool. But it's like, yeah. Mortal Kombat, like the biggest thing around Mortal Kombat though is they were talking about how they didn't like the way they toned the designs like down and all that. Which I'm like, I mean, I get maybe they didn't like the fact that, you know, oh my goodness, like the guys are still like shirtless, which I'm like, you can still customize them to all still be covered. But my whole thing is like, it's the same thing I'm doing when it comes to this whole matter of rollback netcode and online stuff. When they don't do, like, you know, what it is that, like, you know, pleases me far as, like, my games, I'm gonna go and support the folks that do. Because every time somebody mentioned the whole toning down the sexuality, like, you know, with the women in Mortal Kombat, I would always try to sell Skullgirls to them. I know it's a little, like, kind of political or whatever, like, and I mean, like, far as me, like, trying to, like, get them to come to Skullgirls because they hated that mess, but still, I still stand by that. It's like, if you didn't like that, well, play the games that do. Play freaking Skullgirls, play Dead or Alive. If you can get your hands on Senran Kagura, play that. I mean, tweeting at Ed Boon ain't gonna do anything since all he's gonna do is troll y'all.
Yeah.
But, back to you, Mr. Uncoola.
Back to me.
Mr. Uncoola.
Oh, yeah.
You
it's
asked me
Mr. Uncoola, definitely got it.
I'll have to look
What's
back.
up?
I'll have to look back into that to see if Annie actually says burn knuckle. Then I just saw the move and just likened it to a burn knuckle. But I know
I think
one.
she says it.
I know one of the inspirations for like her design was Soul Bad Guy. I mean, she has like the freaking.
Oh yeah, I remember. He also shares a lot of, like, she shares a lot of moves with him.
Yeah, like, but I need to play rank because even though it's gonna probably rip me to shreds, I gotta see what playing against her is like because it's the jumping medium kick, which is like, that is the most excruciating thing that she has. Like it, because the fact like she floats backward and then you release the kick, and that mess crosses up too. I'm like, and the thing was, I wasn't really even sold on Annie like that in the beginning, but then when the trailer came out, I'm like, okay, I can dig this then. Because she was supposed to be in another game that the same, if not most of the same people worked on, which is actually one of my first forays outside of fighting and visual novel games, and that was Indivisible, which I heard somebody liken to Dynasty Warriors, I want to say. But it was also like turn-based adventure RPG. Indivisible is actually a really good game. I enjoyed Indivisible. AZ, now that everyone's alive again, do you think Rugal is going to come back too? Why not?
Potentially.
Why not? The only thing about Rugal that kind of makes me 50-50 is because he really didn't meet his fate the same way as all the other Orochi folks did. As a matter of fact, he wasn't even like technically an original. He just kind of got infused and cursed with the, you know, the Orochi power. He wasn't even like an original. But I'm saying,
was all like, hey, bro, I got you. Hey,
that was all.
have some Orochi.
That was all Gonitz is doing, isn't it? I also heard, like, I've been saying his name wrong. I heard like they say it's like Gunitz. That's how you say Gunitz.
I said it Gunitz.
Gunitz. That sounds better than Gonitz. Gunitz.
Gunitz. The Gunitz world record. Sorry.
I learned somewhere they said like in Japan it's Gainitz.
Whatever, his name's a mystery.
Call him Nitz.
Nitz? I don't know about that.
Knockoff freaking version of the Ritz freaking. That's awful. Don't laugh at that. Cooler Diamond is still a complete mystery to this day. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you all. I'm not that big on Kula, honestly.
You think we'll get Nameless in this one?
I want Nameless, but the reason why I doubt Nameless will be back is because it depends on, because I don't think Ness really has that much of importance in this current storyline. I don't think. Like everything now is just kind of like, hey, this kid that moved in with Master Tung Fu Ru, and like he has a sleepy best friend, and there's this giant freaking thing that has the same powers he does. It's like, but hey, maybe he might come back. Maybe Verse is gonna be like this one thing where it's like everybody's gonna it's gonna be like an ensemble team of heroes and villains, and they want to take out Verse because verse is just that bad. He's just so bad that everybody who's a villain turns decent. Some of them will turn anti-hero for a game just because of freaking verse. But
Yeah.
on the other hand, another reason why I don't think Nameless will be back is because despite the fact he cleared this whole ordeal, SNK knows why they made Nameless. And as long as he is unfortunately, and like fans will feel a multitude of ways. And like I said, fans, believe it or not, I think some people, even my chat over my side, there are some people that legitimately love K49. A lot of people legitimately think that K49 is cooler than Nameless. So, you know, I mean, it could happen. But the thing is like, the reason why I'm doing it is because I'm just looking at how SNK treats like other, you know, creations of theirs. The fact that, and I've told you this before, if you haven't seen it, somebody should have a picture out there somewhere. If you got like a copy of the character encyclopedia or whatever it was called for SNK, like for KOF characters, like it has every single, like I think KOF character, like if not most, if not all of them, not most. There you go. K49 does have a page there, but it's a silhouette. It's a silhouette. They want you to forget about K49. They want you to forget about him, even if that means we also have to take the eraser and just, oh, this guy right here, we made him to not be that other guy. So I'm like, I would have thought differently if the whole copyright thing had happened and they just didn't like go as far as to black out his freaking picture in the freaking SNK encyclopedia or whatever. But maybe I'd have thought different, like, you know, hey, we got for copyright, but hey, you know, we'll still like, you know, be like, hey, we did this or whatnot. But no, it's like they want you to forget him. Couple of y'all in my freaking chat are wrestling fans. Then they're Chris Benoit and freaking K49. The man has a silhouette in the freaking SNK encyclopedia. They are Chris Benoit, this guy. They want you to forget. They want you to like look at that page and see like K9999. Oh, this must be a printing error or something. Okay, next page. That's what they want you to. I mean, that's the only thing is like, think about it, like that's some vengeful mess. That's some petty mess. That is some petty mess. So like, because the thing is, I actually really like Nameless a whole bunch. I didn't like K49 design wise, but playstyle wise, K49 actually was really pretty cool. I just didn't like the fact he was what they call in the, I was about to say the Smite verse, but I mean, this kind of goes for Paladins, Overwatch, all these games. Any game with a skin in it or whatever, he was a recolor. K49 was in essence a recolor. Which I wonder, because people keep constantly asking me, and some people are really, I'm just picking on him in this case. I'm picking on him, but I'm going to say it. People are legitimately upset with me because I do not have Angel on my roster predictions. It's not that I don't want Angel. As a wrestling fan and all the stuff that she references, I like Angel. But I'm just going by the clues that we have. Where in the world would Angel go? Because most of me is not content with thinking it's going to be Team May go again. Somebody from that team is going to have to make the jump. Now, Hilux, who I wish well, then again, you know, time, you know, schedules and all that, but shout out to Hilux. I wish Hilux could make more streams like this then. He talked about a wrestling team, which I'm all for, but like, who? Who though? And is King of Dinosaurs gonna be T-Zoc again?
I hope so.
Cause I actually didn't mind the dinosaur, to be honest.
Preferred T-Zoc's moveset compared to King of Dinosaurs. Like, King of Dinosaurs is just kind of in terms of movesets. If he was the exact same, I'd be fine with it.
The only thing about King of Dinosaurs I just didn't like about his playstyle was that he was stocky. And there were certain matchups I hated playing with him. That anybody that had like a really good fireball when it came to that, it was bothersome. Yeah, there he is. Gunitz. I don't think he did it. Okay, he said whatever. I almost thought like freaking Kurobama had spelled his name like go nuts basically, but he was on some I got your eye. That's what happened. I got your eye. Someone said before in the chat, what about Daimon? Maybe Daimon, Saisyu, and Shingo in Japan team? Papa Kusanagi coming into KOF 15?
I don't know.
I never thought about that. I never thought about that. And I just axed that team from my prediction board. Go ahead, Syrin.
Oh, yeah. I think we mentioned Saishu in the past one of these, but
somebody was talking about like, you know, a mentor, like I know it was joking, but I mean people would like buy it anyways, but like a dad's team or whatever and all that. Like mentor the elders and everything. But I never thought about that. Saisyu on the Japan team, I never thought about that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Saishu, Kyo had like this one like cousin that has like a similar moveset to Saishu. It's from for like some other obscure KOF game. It's like, I forget what it was, but it was the one where it was like Geese was the art of fighting Geese, not the normal Fatal Fury looking Geese. Yes, I know they're the same series. Just I'm talking about who looks. But I don't know what KOF game that was in particular, but it's like Kyo's cousin. Let me check the wiki real quick.
I'm glad we're not on like webcam then, because Joe's song just came up on the playlist on my side. While I'm not a big Joe fan, that theme song always gets me bouncing around. Always. If Joe's theme song don't make you feel like jumping around or bouncing around, even like if you're in your chair, I'm gonna assume you're either very chill or your soul is frozen. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, this guy we haven't seen in a long time.
Man, Syrin going way back with Mess, man. Man, going way back with these, and if you want some insight, into how I would build like the roster far as like this chunk of characters, I would have kept freaking Shingo and Goro in there then, because like I said, I know people like those characters. I would take Joe off of Team Fatal Fury. Let Mary be the third person in Team Fatal Fury. Put Joe on the team with Shingo and Goro Daimon. Team Headbands. What up? Team Headbands.
Hey, you really got it. Team Headbands.
Team Headbands.
Yeah.
Team Headbands. Yep, K4.
Team Headbands.
See, Suichi likes K49 more than Nameless. Yeah, I know, Nameless, copyright reason. Kurobomb, K-Dash's team apparently being chased by the new Nest. Ooh, okay. See, the thing with Nelson's arm and Sylvie's split, I kind of like, okay, the thing with Nelson's arm was because see, I don't know if I said it like when Syrin first asked the question, but I've got ads playing on my side. No, you didn't pay us. But
we don't take those.
But it's like the thing I mentioned when it came to him mentioning Nameless was the whole thing about how much of a priority like does Ness have in the storyline? Like how much? I didn't think they were a major. I didn't think they were a major part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like even with the stuff in 14, because Nelson's arm is kind of minor, especially seeing that more than likely those three, and I like all three of those characters in Team South America, but they are not that popular. I'm pretty sure a lot of people, a lot of fans might groan if they brought them back in 15. It's like, heaven forbid it's DLC, and it's like, it might not be DLC that anybody would buy. Like I said, I love those characters, but they weren't that popular. So like with the whole thing with Nelson, it was kind of minor.
Yeah.
Comparatively speaking. Now, the thing with Sylvie Split, yeah, that could lead to some new stuff. Because, of course, she was, I think, the last, like, one of the last, like projects that they had. And then she just pretty much crept away and had a dance battle with freaking Lucky Chloe somewhere in a parallel universe. I don't know.
Sure.
No. But he also mentioned in the beginning that there's a new Ness apparently, and K Dash's team was being chased by them. That if
is that something from the manga comic thing?
Probably, which I keep
We
telling
gotta
myself.
check that.
We
gotta check that out sometime on this or something.
Yeah, we've gotta. I keep telling myself I'm gonna like read the manga, but I never get around to it. I'd even buy it like if it's out there, but I feel like something like that might have one of those collector prices. It's like I don't have time for that. We already got enough people freaking trying to get folks to freaking pay $300K for a PS5.
Yeah.
And y'all think that mess
a PlayStation guy.
And y'all think that mess is funny. Scalping. Most stupid thing about that copyright stuff is that if you play the Neo Geo mode in KOF 2002 K49 is still there. Huh. The Neo Geo mode.
Really?
Huh. A little bit of trivia. If that is true, then that was a very poor attempt at trying to hide some... trying to make people forget about it.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Matter of fact, look up and see if you can find like that on YouTube or something, Syrin.
Comic?
No, I guess Neo Geo mode in 2002 KOF Or better yet, maybe it's an image. Let's see. Neo Geo mode.
Geo KLF. Oh, it's like a challenge thing. Oh!
I found it.
Okay, so I didn't know that was a thing. You can play OG 2002 in 2002 UM.
The first thing I found was not a blog post. It's on a forum on. Matter of fact, it's on the 2002 KOF general discussions area. We need the KOF 2002 original Neo Geo version on Steam, or the original version on Steam. This person writes, I'm a fan of the series King of Fighters for over 20 years, and my favorite KOF is the KOF 2002. I think I can speak for all fans of the 2002 series, for all who have played on the PlayStation 2 platform, and all who played in arcades. I come here to make the simplest request of heart in this forum. By way of a question, I guess. Why not include KOF 2002 original Neo Geo version within that version of 2002 as they did with the King of Fighters Ultimate Final? Okay, there was a package, that's right. And then... Yep, instantly talking about K49. I actually owned a PS2. I don't think I ever actually had that version. I think I played it in an arcade. I think I played it in arcades before anything. If that's the case,
I have it on Switch.
The original one, you
But
got?
I have the OG 2002 on Switch. Yeah.
Man, let's see something. Cause like, when did he first? That's silly then, cause like, maybe that's the reason they're trying to bury him so much, and like, they done blacked out his picture in the freaking encyclopedia or whatever. Then we tried to hide it, but then they found us, so we had to hide it even more. Ah. Okay, made his debut in 2001. Know that. Yeah, he was he was possible mid boss in 2002.
Yeah. KOFX Fatal Fury. What does that entail?
Silliness. And then on top of that, he was apparently in Maximum Impact 2, like he made a cameo. It's like, when did the hammer get brought down on y'all to get rid of him? I really wonder. And speaking of Angel, you gotta feel bad for her. Her one friend gone via the power of copyright. Crazy.
Darn you. I'll get my revenge somehow.
Friend got snapped away into Thanos dust because he was a clone. And not that type of clone, but a bad clone. The clone that will get SNK freaking sued. Not a Kyo clone, but...
It's reminded me of this thing, but I can't say it on stream because it's very folk. You said Thanos dust?
I mean, yeah, you know, he snapped and people were made... Snap and they were disintegrated. A gauntlet, a stone, a stone, a stone, a stone, a stone, a stone, and then a snap. Word to those of you who just watched the MCU, the original story actually had everything kick off with the Thanos snap. Yeah, more like the depths of copyright hell, exactly. Talking about clones, if they put split versions of Kyo...
Yeah.
That AZ in the chat was talking about clones. If they put the split versions of Kyo, I'm gonna be pissed. Please no. I'm right there. I'm right there with you.
Sorry. Okay.
I
found the thing, but watch it. You can watch it. I suggest turning down the volume. It's funny, but goddamn,
Man,
I can't say it on stream.
don't worry about it. So, speaking of the freaking Kyo clones, look, they did a decent job at like differentiating the two of them. But at the same time,
Yeah.
I sympathize with you though. I mean, if they want to just do like the whole Kusanagi thing, which I think is far past it because there's really no need for Kusanagi anymore. And I would say why they did the whole cloning thing, but I've already given away too many things that I'm going to discuss like in the next video in this series, so y'all have to catch whenever I talk about interesting facts about Kyo. But I will say this, no, just leave it alone. Just leave the clone thing alone. Like, Mortal Kombat grew up past like the whole palette swap thing. I can't even really think of any modern fighting games that still use palette swaps. The palette swap seems like such a freaking vintage trope now. Like everything from the 90s.
Yeah.
Unless you want to count somebody like a Kage in freaking Street Fighter. If you want to count Kage.
Yeah.
Even though they kind of did decently at differentiating him from Evil Ryu, but at the same time it might confuse somebody who is a little lesser into the series.
Yeah.
All I know, Jose, is that Death Battle had Darkseid go over Thanos, I think.
Yeah. These worlds more powerful than Thanos.
Violent Ken.
Violent Ken's cool.
I used to always joke saying they only did that mess for Ken because they didn't want him to feel left out, seeing that his brother there, Ryu, he got powers. Why can't I?
Well, I mean, in this case, he has Psycho Power instead of Satsui no Hado.
Crazy thing is, the last time I played a Mugen, I remember there was a character named Holy Ken. I forgot how twisted freaking manga can be. The last time I saw like not a manga, but a freaking, dang it, manga. Why did I say manga? Why manga? What is it I'm looking for? I'm drawing a blank. What's the thing you do on Mondays again?
Mugen Mondays?
Mugen. I said manga. Mugen. Look, listen to me. Last time I played a Mugen, like, there was a character called Holy Ken.
Holy Ken, wow.
I'm like, why does he get to have, like, an angelic form of freaking Ryu doesn't?
People like Ken.
People like Dragon Puncher. That's what they like.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry if this show seemed a little bit slackerish than usual. I'm actually a little bit exhausted then. I'm not actually 100% right now, but don't worry, I'll be okay. Just a little kind of busted up and bruised, but I'm alright. But nevertheless, you know what time it is.
Yeah.
Kurobomb, I think he actually, the funny thing is he has his pancake dead. He just muted his mic. I just looked for a moment in like the Discord. I just saw like it said his mic was muted.
Huh. Yeah, he was having internet troubles last night.
Hope it's not AT&T. Those are my sworn enemies when it comes to freaking internet service. Sworn enemies. I don't care if they freaking come at me for this freaking stream. I don't care. Alright, so y'all all know what time it is. Since we're about to wrap up, who will be the next character that we see next Wednesday? Who will be the next revealed KOF 15 character? Syrin. Or do I have to go first because I guessed right last time? Do I have to?
Since you guessed right last time, I think I should go first.
Alright.
Let's see. I think they're going to reveal. Oh wait. Oh, hold on. I think Pancake is breaking through. Hold on.
I heard him.
I think they'll reveal. Say wild card. We're gonna reveal Kim next week.
He is going with SNK's resident Boy Scout, Kim Kaplan. I see a couple y'all in the chat. Let's see. Because this is a tricky one, because like I said, we're back in this debacle because we don't know who the women fighters are going to be. And it would definitely be really, really, really crazy. Let's say for instance it is Alice. It would be so... I would like it, but I would be so hyped if they revealed Alice, but there was still not a women fighters team confirmation. I would be so hype. I would be so hype. But the funny thing is, it's been on my mind the whole time. I actually am in agreement with what Kurobomb in the chat says. I'm on the Sakazaki train this time. That being Rio, because we already know Yuri Sakazaki's out. So I'm gonna go with
All right.
Riggedy,
Yeah.
Riggedy Rio. My boy. Then again, I wonder. Well, hold on. Wonder would they save him for last if they were gonna confirm that team. But no, I'm gonna stick with it. Because Kurobomb said Rio, AZ really went out there and said it's gonna be Bow.
How are we guessing right now? Is that what's happening?
Yes, Siros.
Am I allowed to guess
Throw your hat in there.
Kula again?
Do it again. Hey.
I'm gonna do it.
Hey.
I want Kula so bad, so I'm just gonna keep guessing Kula. I'll get it eventually.
I mean, that's the thing. Like games like this or whatever, like I used to watch like the game show Deal or No Deal where they had like all the models up there with the chest and all that. You had to find the one that had like the $1 million or whatever. I would constantly guess the same one every time. So, hey, that's a strategy. There's consistency to it. So we got...
But I really want Kula.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't freaking chew out Syrin for the freaking Kula pun. Then again, maybe it's tinfoil hat moment for me. He really didn't mean it.
Only because I would say the exact same thing, and he didn't even do it on purpose.
Okay. Maybe it's just tinfoil hat. Maybe this is just me having a tinfoil hat moment, and I'm thinking that he did it when he didn't. Let's see, because somebody said about the Pancake Meister said Kula. I ought to mark them down for Kula every single week until they reveal it. It's gonna happen sooner or later. Just saying. And Syrin went with who?
I think I said. Him. Yeah, right.
Oh, you said. Oh, you mean the Boy Scout. All right. What's people in the chat talking about? Suichi is on the same wavelength as you, Pancake. Not saying they're also guessing Kula, but because I know I'm pretty sure last time Suichi guessed Alice. And they're guessing Alice again, which I can't fret you for. Jose in the chat says K-Dash. Okay, we're kind of all over the place this time. And I think that is it far as like, anybody would have guessed there, because really everybody was just kind of chatting it up. If I were a developer, I would probably show us Leon or Kay. They are probably completed since they appeared in the first trailer. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen either one of them, so that's a point. Rio is rumored to be teaming up with Marco Rodriguez. We said this earlier. They have got to stick with that storyline. Like I said, y'all keep your eyes peeled. Then it's probably gonna come out before the Kyo Kusanagi Facts video, but I'm gonna put out a video where it's like, if I this is like basically this would be how I would build the KOF 15 roster. So, like, keep your eyes out for that right there, because, like I said, I'm not upset with the roster we have so far in KOF 15, but it's just when you put that next to the slogan, we haven't reached that point yet. Like, I'm not upset that Shermie got revealed, but at the same time, if it would have been Botan like everybody had been predicting, that would have been a shattering choice.
Yeah.
Like, but maybe we're in this point where, hey, we know you guys are talking about Shadow expectations, but we gotta get all the favorites out first. Okay, but come on now. I'm sounding like Monokuma from Danganronpa. Hey, come on now. He's like Monokuma's an effective villain. Like, I hate that little freaking bugger, but I would be lying if I said he wasn't funny. Alright, so if Suichi, if Alice, cool, I got it right. If it's not Alice, cool, it's not Alice. You know what? Not a bad way to put it. That's not a bad way to look at it. You win either way. You win if it is Alice because you guessed it, and if you win if it's not Alice because Suichi's not an Alice fan. Like I said, I like Alice, but I agree with Suichi. Like I said, if they're gonna bring her in 15, they have got to make her more. They got to make her seem more fresh. Then you got to make her stand out. The whole Terry fangirl gimmick is cool. Her clumsiness, I liked it because it was adorable. But some people didn't like it because it's like, why the hell am I gonna play you and you can't even freaking stand up on your own 2 feet with some sandals on? Come on. But that be it.
Yeah.
Syrin, y'all got any other announcements? Because I have announced a whole bunch of stuff.
If you guys haven't already, make sure to check out the Best of Syrin Richxson 2020. It's a little wild,
Yeah, it is.
but it's pretty funny.
Have you watched it?
I watched like the first portion of it but then I got interrupted by freaking Cox's freaking their internet service is great. I appreciate them more than AT&T, but I hate it when they freaking cut off at random times when I'm doing stuff. Cause then I'm waiting for it, like, come on man, I want to see the rest of this then. Because I freaking fell out with the freaking Kennedy joke, but
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
the matter of fact, I'm gonna freaking watch it like once I get off of here. Then before I freaking, because I was supposed to have a movie night over here, like I'm gonna watch something I forgot about. But
Can we stay here when you react to it?
say what?
Can we stay here when you react to it? That'd be pretty fun. I don't know.
Nah,
Okay.
maybe next time.
All right.
Mugen Mondays again?
Oh yeah, probably. I didn't do it this week because I literally forgot. Happens to the best of us, I guess. But
it does. It's fine.
I think that's kind of it in terms of that. If you
That's
haven't
it.
already, obviously check out my channel.
Of course.
And
And just so you know, like, it wasn't
guess-
a dig at like the best of series. It's just the fact we're already at the 2-hour mark and trying to wrap it up.
yeah,
I know Jose definitely gets on my case when we go over time. But I think one time he was watching us on his phone and I think the battery was running out, which that kind of sucks.
yeah.
Keep your portable juice freaking electro boxes on you peoples. I had to go buy myself another one. One more thing before we go
guess-
there. What's up? What's up, Syrin?
Oh, I was gonna say, be sure to look into the 2002 UN thing.
Oh, def. I mean, it's a sale. Because then it jump
Yeah.
up like the freaking $19, $14, $15 if I freaking ignore it.
Yeah.
But
Something like
yeah,
that.
one more thing before we go there. I want to give a special shout outs to the man behind most of the music that you hear on my videos there. And that is... It's funny, like I just forgot. I'm laughing because it's another Chris. I'm not kidding you, it's another Chris. But y'all
Chris,
look at...
not me, not me.
Yes, Chris, not me, not me.
No. It's Chris, not me, not him.
Chris, not me, not him. There you go. There we go. Chris, not me, not him. But y'all might look in the
Yeah.
comment section. Well, not the comment section, but y'all look in like in the description and y'all know him as Electronic Warbear. Shout out to him. He just released a new album Friday. I'm a little thrown off because it was midnight because I was over there on the stream watching him there. He released a new album. Check him out on Bandcamp, Electronic Warbear, bandcamp.com. And the new album's called Afterlife. And best believe me, if you like ethereal stuff mixed with a little bit of some pounding rhythms and like D&B and all that, you will feel like that you have gone to the afterlife. So do check that out. You'll hear some familiar songs from this album, of course, if you watch like my videos like religiously, or even if you like pick one or another, then I'm pretty sure from that album you'll hear one song that you've heard before. So do check it out. It's Afterlife. Check out Electronic Warbear on bandcamp.com. I think only for this album it's like $6 or more if you want to help out. Makes my video stand out. So do go check them out, support, do whatever you can. And also if you just want to like listen before you buy, which is cool, Spotify, his stuff is on Spotify as well, so check that out too. And there was a movie he did an anime review on his YouTube page that apparently triggered somebody, but it was a movie, Letter to Somebody, I forgot, but But there you go. That's all I got. Like I said, I got 2 videos coming for y'all. You all voted on the Kyo video, so we're gonna do 10 fascinating facts about Kyo Kusanagi. But also look out, because there's gonna be a video possibly before that one where I'm gonna show you all how I would build KOF 15's roster. And I guarantee you this is gonna shatter all expectations. Still no dig at it. Still no dig at SNK though. We're still looking forward to 15. But that's it. This was the Shattering. Disregard the title on my side. It's the 8th episode, the 8th edition, with Pancake and Syrin Richxson. You know what? Let me shatter all expectations right quick. You two do an outro.
All right. I'd like to thank everybody for joining. Yeah, I'm taking the reins right now. I would like to thank everybody for being here on the 8th episode of the Shattering podcast, featuring Syrin Richxson and Chris Lotus, and obviously myself. We talked about some crazy content. Our discussions this episode were immaculate. Can't wait for number 9. See you guys there.
You heard him. See y'all next time. Unless Syrin want to put a little extra there because he got the freaking reins taken.
See y'all next time.
Later.
He covered basically everything.
Later, y'all.
The energy.